Want to perfect your beauty skills? Look no further. URSM candidate Julian Rolox Jr. presents to you the opportunity to attend a free makeup class where you will learn the basics of makeup application with the young professional Miss Michaela Peterson. Spaces are limited. To join, register on October 14, 2023 from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Julian Rolox Jr. headquarters on Arch Road in Sucker Garden. A goodie bag with supplies along with a certificate of completion will be presented at the end of the class. To participate, you must be 18 years or older and provide a valid form of identification. For more information, please contact 1721-588-1216. We encourage and empower young entrepreneurs.
My name is Julia Roloff Jr. and I endorse this message.
At SXM, we're taking travel and tourism to new heights. Here we boast spacious check-in areas, 10 passport control points, comfortable departure lounges, and an exciting new airport mall. Finally, there's an airport in the Caribbean that takes your travel plans as seriously as you do. Princess Juliana International Airport. The experience will move you.
St. Martin, we probably go far, and we know, search for a sign of a change, a chino. You know it got days when you feel like a zero. I woke up this morning, but feel like Mark Mingo. Tomorrow be a better day. Respect is the key, education gon' matter, so don't you try to run away. St. Martin, the place where the food is good, the people is good, the music is good. We living like we on a rose. They're trying to take us down, but I'm thinking could they really though? Misunderstood. Oh Lord, help us protect ourselves, help us look in ourselves. We're searching for what they call the fire that's in ourselves. I just want to see the best from my motherland. I just want the whole world here to understand that we came from the bottom of the sewer, now we heading way up, high up unto Wonderland. Opportunity is yours, so make it happen. Take an action.
But Mark, what happened? You're daydreaming?
No, I'm not daydreaming. I'm looking at what we build. We built something here, right? Traffic is flowing. There's a lot of space for walking. I see the mangroves has grown, which we planted before the construction of the causeway. We planted a lot of mangroves with a mangrove foundation for the environment. And you know, it's very important that you know, you have the causeway. You also have to maintain it, but you also have to maintain the waters and the life, like the mangroves, the fisheries. You have to measure and take a look at that. So
you didn't even gonna tell me hello.
Oh, sorry. I just started my story already.
Yeah,
hey,
man.
Andrew, how you doing?
I good, man.
It's hot, eh?
It's hot. You need me sweating.
Okay.
No, let me talk.
You want I can take off my
glasses.
glasses? Yeah, okay. Let me just, yeah.
Now, of course, Mark Bingo
Hello.
is here. I told him to come to the causeway because this is one of the projects that was spearheaded by Port St. Martin. You know, contrary to popular belief. Teo who built it. So, Port St. Martin, when you were CEO, you had a vision, company had a vision. Tell us how it started.
Yeah, so the company has a vision, has a plan. Just to correct you, the harbor has 13 different companies. One of the companies was the Lagoon Authority, which created a subsidiary causeway NV, which built this. Okay. Which build this in order for us to be able to lend the money to build this.
Okay, but why? What was the need for building?
Okay,
building this causeway bridge?
See, and that's very
at that time.
Yeah, it's very important. There were several different explanations. You know that the other bridge, that's by the hotel, that's by
the Simpson Bay. Yeah,
the Simpson Bay Bridge. Yeah. That has an end of life. There's a report on it. It has an end of life. It can break down. You remember the sanding ground? The sanding ground broke down.
Yeah.
So you have to safeguard the flow of traffic. That's number one. Number two, most of the people driving towards the airport or towards Maho are working at the airport. Someone wants to pass.
No, you can pass, sir. Pass.
So very important. The second most important thing for the causeway was always making sure to guarantee the connection towards the airport.
Ah.
At that time, you had the CEO, Mr. Holiday.
Yes.
Who didn't want to finance and help us as harbour to build the causeway.
Yeah.
The causeway is for everybody.
Yeah.
It's not only about a harbour. For sure, when our team built it, there was a group of people involved, and coming back to that as well, I don't want to go for the tit-a-tat if one person, there's no one politician build this. I want to be clear on that.
Yeah.
There were certain ideas, other politicians have that ideas as well. An idea is nothing if you don't have a vision and you don't execute the vision. What I did when I was here at the port, together with a group, together with a board of directors, together with partners, together with the central bank, by the way, who helped us out as well.
Yes.
With the bond loan, $150 million bond loan. That was put together and that was executed. And that is what we have today. As I said on many occasions for the listeners and viewers, this is the last real piece of road which still works. And we built this, I think when this was finalized, I think it was somewhere in 2013. So you're talking about almost more than 10 years after. Look at the road. The road don't have no holes.
Yeah.
The road is very smooth.
Yeah.
And I remember when we started to build this, you remember the amount of issues we had about why we building it, we destroying everything. Guess today?
Yeah.
There are people walking. That's good for their health. The traffic is flowing. You remember there were 2 days.
They even got jump ups here.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot that one.
Jump up pass.
Yeah. So remember they also had an issue then when the bridge wasn't working it was closed for 2 days.
Yeah.
And what kind of confusion you had with traffic, etc. So it is a solution for the traffic problems. But guess what? This is Link 9. They call it Link 9.
Ah.
For the listeners and viewers, there are many links.
Yeah.
So that plan was there from 1996.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, from 1996 was the link plan, the road plan, but some of it has also been outdated. Okay. So the Link 9 alone, the causeway alone cannot solve the traffic. And that's one of the reasons, also one of the visions for St. Martin is infrastructure is very important because this drives the economy. If you don't have the causeway, our economy is dead.
Yeah.
If we don't have an economy, why sit in Parliament? We need an economy. So that is, I'm happy you called me out and we did a little walk here and show. Look, you see also to a container, that's a harbor.
Yeah.
Those are actually products and goods going maybe to a hotel or a restaurant or a building construction project. It's all about the economy. It's driving all the businesses across. And guess what? Everybody who's driving a truck or a car, they have a job and they're making income.
I see.
They're making income. Now, that is where we're going to. Actually, was looking across because, not much has happened since 2013 after we built the causeway.
Yes, I noticed.
There was no infrastructure project. It's not to boast about it because there's a team behind it, but there's also a driving leader. In my case, I had the honors to be the CEO of the harbor.
Yeah.
I did it for 17 years, but it's not about Mark Mingo alone. It's about having a team and putting the right team together. Also, when you go into government, when you're in Parliament or whatever, it's a team is making the decisions. And that is my strength. My strength is to bring people together. Andrew, you know me as well. If I don't like something, I don't agree, I will have a curse with you, but I'm always the type of person you're going to hear it, but I'm going to reach out back to you and say, listen, I'm sorry. Maybe I was a little harsh, but let's get it together. So, but since we're here and explaining infrastructure, this was the last real infrastructure project we put together. Not a politician, we put together. And the cost of this, the budgeted amount was $50 million.
Okay.
So the cost of this causeway was $50 million. And we can all argue, was it too expensive, not too expensive? If you build that today, it's going to be more than $50 million.
Of course.
And it was a very extensive bidding.
How long it took to build?
18 months. That's why we have a lot of issues. We had a lot of issues as well.
It took 18 months.
18 months to build. That's correct. That is what I know. The timing, and it was done on time, and it also was done within budget. There's a lot of stuff going on when it comes to what happened with the contractor, what happened with certain government officials.
Of course.
I'm not going to go into that, but for me, as an engineer, as a structural engineer, as Mark Mingo, this has done tremendous. The millions this has brought back for the economy and stabilized the road network in Cincinnati Bay area, because that was also one of the responsibilities of the Lagoon Authority. Don't forget, government actually sold us Lagoon Authority. Yeah? That was a separate entity first. We took that over, I believe, in 2010.
Yeah.
And then I redid the vision plan. And one of the vision plan is that you also have to stabilize Cincinnati Bay. So have another cap on now going into government. We also need to make sure that the marinas are protected. And the mariners are making money in order to safeguard not only the yachting industry, but also safeguard the environment and the lagoon itself. Because without the natural resources, how are we going to sell St. Martin? Look how beautiful this is. How are we going to sell St. Martin?
Now, it's important for you to know that Mr. Mingo is, on the United People's Party list. Should be the number 4 candidate. But we'll announce.
Well, I signed something,
he
so
signed something, but still, after postulation,
yeah, that's true. Postulation is official day.
Official.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, I just wanted to make sure that the people know some of the things that you have done, because many people always say, and I'm sure you get that all the time when you go and ask people to vote for you.
Yeah.
Okay, but what you do? What have you done for St. Martin?
Yeah.
And there is many things that you've done, and this is one of them, and
Yes.
that's why I wanted to bring you here so that you could reminisce also, because
I get a little goosebumps because I know what I've been through with this project.
that's where it was going. I wanted to ask.
Yes.
Based on the fact that we're here now, and you're seeing it still here, intact, and you went through some years of ridicule when it comes to this project specifically. Now that you were vindicated from it, it was over, and watching it now still in play, I'm sure that it was worth it.
Yeah, it is. Look, it is worth it. I remember when the government had changed in 2012. You see the 2 pylons there?
Yes.
They were twice higher.
Oh, yeah?
The new incoming government blocked that. So I had to fly back to the Netherlands and make sure to cut them down halfway. That's why they're so short. There was a calculation. They were looking at when there's an emergency from the Grand Cross Airport and a plane comes from this side and lands that way, the pylons has to be a certain height.
Ah.
They call it quadrant 4. That's not for the listeners. Myself is complex. But you can imagine I couldn't sleep for about a month because basically government stopped the project. In 2012, I believe that the minister involved in VROMI,
Yeah.
I don't need to call his name because it's about the Causeway project. When that changed, when a government changes, it always feels something is wrong. Nothing was wrong. Look today, it's a brilliant project.
Yeah.
It's not about the idea. Maybe it could have been your idea too, Andrew, but an idea is just an idea.
Yeah.
Myself as CEO, we put it together with a team. You have a board of directors, you have myself as CEO, you have financial people around you, you have consultants around you, and you lead that project and finish the project. And that's very important. That's also one of...
You were very adamant for also local involvement. I know.
Yes, what happened is with every project we did, and I was telling the viewers
very hard
on the talk show, yes.
Yeah.
Well, we have to do work, right? We have to work. We don't do it for free. No, but very important, I always say on my talk shows as well, I did about close to $300 million in infrastructural projects. Oh. Maybe in the next show, we can show the other projects as well and get your idea to explain what really happened. Coming back to the local involvement, because I know there were a lot of complaints at the airport, what was the local involvement, subcontractors' involvement? It's not only of picking 1 or 2 subcontractors locally. No, you have to make sure to pick an array of subcontractors. Because you have a friend or whatever, you put it. So what we did is we put a list together and we make sure that all the subcontractors are chosen based on a dollar value. You gotta be smart about it because you can also play with the numbers when it talks about dollar value.
Yeah.
And that is what we did, and that is what management, the board of directors, and the consultants to make sure and guarantee that the money flows locally. And that's what I'm saying is when I was CEO at the port and doing close to $300 million in projects, a lot of people had money in their pocket. The economy is about money in your pocket. That is what I stand for. Is the economy is about money in the pocket. I'm not saying I'm talking about shady stuff. I'm talking about real economy, doing the right things and making sure, not because your name is John Famous, that you should only get a work. No, everybody has a right to do the job once you have the skills, the skill set.
The skill set.
Yeah. So that is what I can add on this. I see that the lights are still on. I don't know if that's...
and sometimes in the evening, but it depends, And
okay. I'm very detailed. I look at these things and
And the last time you was on this bridge was like about 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah, it was 6 years ago before all of that happening. But, I actually was under the bridge a few months ago because we had an event with, the lagoon boat that goes under. We went under and then you look at it, Andrew, and then I'm astonished that you have people out there who are saying, I built it, I did this. No, this was a group of people. This was a group of hardworking people, which I had the honors to lead as a CEO. Yeah. And that is my way of doing things. Well, most of the people know me The most of the people know me is I try to bring people together and make sure that it's executed the right way.
Yeah.
We all know there's certain clouds we're hanging on this. You know, I'm not going to go there, but that is what it is. That is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
You talked about economy and how important projects like this have a long standing of life. Let me talk a little bit about the Simpson Bay Bridge.
Yeah.
You know, when elected, do you plan to also look into that to see how we can fix that situation? Because it has an end of life.
Yeah, so Andrew, I think I did that already because by the way, I looked up our date on when we were busy starting to promote, even with our talk show on 101.5. It's actually October 2022. It's even before we started. I was astonished this morning. Also on my Facebook page, you saw we already have designs and stuff we did in 2012 for the bridge. I'm not saying that if I was there, the bridge would be there already.
Yeah.
What Mark Mingo, as candidate of the UPAT, is not going to do, I'm not going to go out there and come with all kind of flashy portraits or artist impressions to fool or to try and promote myself that way. No. This speaks for itself. Most of the population knows that a harbor is a very important trigger in the economy of St. Martin. The economy has slowed down. Everybody knows that. The economy has slowed down. The harbor, I'm not saying the harbor fell asleep, but the harbor is not the fireball, the pushing development behind the economy of St. Martin, and that's tourism. I understood that Ms. Regina Labega also did an interview where she said, why are we not talking about tourism?
Yeah.
Tourism is economy.
And it's our main pillar.
That's our main pillar. And then they say, yeah, but look, it feeds everything.
They say diversify without taking care of our main pillar.
But you have to master your main pillar first.
Yeah.
We lost the mastering. I think we went back to our bachelors.
Yeah.
We got to bring it back to the masters. And I think there is where, as Mark Mingo, I can play a very important role. Many people know me, and I know out there's a lot of good stuff. I got a lot of traction, by the way, Andrew. There's a lot of good stuff out there, but it's also the critical people of me. And I also listen to the critical people because you have to listen to everyone. Not because you criticize, you should say, oh, I'm not listening. No, I look at it, I listen to it, I react, and it also changes you. It improves your decision-making process. So that is what I can add. It's so serious, the show. We're not, no jokes or anything.
No, this is a serious part.
Okay.
And plus we're on the road, so
Yeah,
I just want to make sure that the viewers get a chance to see what Mark Mingo is about.
Yeah.
And we sit down in the studio most of the time, but now,
I'm glad you're not in the air, Look, you're sweating.
Yeah. You can
I have a cap on, I'm sweating too, but you're sweating. No, it's about hard work, Andrew, and
it's about rolling up.
If there's any questions or anything to follow up, I keep it very simple, not on a WhatsApp. I say just go to my Facebook page, send me a message. I usually respond to all the messages on Facebook page because then it's more sent. A lot of information is on the Facebook page. You also, by the way, have the new designs of the bridge, the bridge at Royal Palm by Hilton now, right? It's a Hilton timeshare or timeshare now as well. Hilton Vacations Residence. But the designs are there already. That was there since 2012. But it has to come. That's one of the projects which will come. Not to say it here, but it's needed. It's needed. Connectivity towards the airport is very important. Because again, we invested over close to $100 million in the airport.
Yeah.
So you got to make sure to keep the connectivity towards the airport.
And also in the afternoon, the traffic, it alleviated a little bit, but we still have it.
Yeah, there's some ideas. You remember there were some ideas about a tunnel here and there.
Yeah.
But it's a good mentioning of that idea. But now we got to see if we can make that idea, put it in a vision document, and get it executed. I said as well because I heard that the Minister of Rami said there's only a budget of $2 million for the road infrastructure. Yeah. I did a calculation. You need $6 million to have a good maintenance plan for the roads of St. Martin.
Yeah, but
$6 million US.
Yeah, but then they're going to tell you where you're going to get it from.
Well, there are different ways to get it. Then you didn't ask me the question about the causeway. How was this funded? We increased the throughput on the container tax by a bit. And we also increased the throughput on the fuel by a bit. Nothing major. There was also a cost of living calculation done because the bitter thing of it is someone has to pay. And normally how you pay it is through taxes or certain fees.
Yeah.
Not going to go into discussion. I believe that the French should have contributed more. And I'm also a little disappointed still that the airport didn't pay half for the causeway. So because I still, my heart and soul is still, my heart and soul is still the harbor No, but you have to have these discussions because the loan, the bond loan, was funded by the central bank.
Yeah.
So it was a very, very good case. And guess what? All of those bonds were bought by financial institutions. So it was not a risk for the central bank.
So I think on the next show we need to talk about the harbor buyback.
Yeah, the harbor. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff there. The harbor buyback, just to close on that, we also did a social project, which is in Hope Estate.
Yeah.
So it's not only the causeway, because people said, oh, but Mark Mingo, you like to build projects and that one gonna get rich and this one gonna get rich. No. Yeah. This was done the correct way. And if we could make sure, improve the infrastructure for St. Martin, everybody will benefit. The Middle Region, the Dutch Quarter, the St. Peters. And don't only talk about those districts, also talk about people living in Cold Bay. Sometimes we forget KB. KB should not be forgotten because we have GB and Seoul down there as well. It should not be forgotten. So that is what I can add on things here.
All right, Mr. Mark Mingo, thank you so much. I'm melting. This has been very enlightening, and I must say that, this is one of the projects that I must, congratulate you on. And of course, there's many other projects underneath your cap, also water plants being one. So
that's also, that was a project for the community, and we can touch base on that as well. I'm willing to share that information as well.
All right, Late Night Show with Andrew Dick. We'll be right back.
No, but MP Bryson, look, MP Bryson, this is exactly why I have confidence in you. You're a very intelligent young man. I know that from day one when I met you, which you know how that goes. Yep. And this is the level of discussion you need in Parliament, in those committees. I hope the audience and the people are listening. This is
Parliament right here would love nothing better than to say, let's allocate 10 million guilders towards helping our issues in social needs and so on. But how are we to do that when we have all of these conditions of, well, you can't get more liquidity, you need to cut, you need to do this. Many of us feel like we're in a position where we can't fully extend our ability to legislate.
But my decision is to stay where I'm at. At the end of the day, the way that MP Rolando Bryson leads, he allows me to work. He gives me that freedom to work. It's not always a phone call of pressure or do this, do that, don't do this, and that's part of the reason that I'm able to produce.
Any of the difficulties that this government faces today, I didn't sit down, do nothing, and have my staff write press releases. No, I got up and asked myself from opposition benches, what can I do? So I read my constitution, the one I swore to uphold, which gives us the rights to bring laws, to bring amendments, interpellation rights, inquiry rights. So we asked ourselves the questions at the time, what have we done? Regardless of...
He has represented this country qua what is expected of a parliamentarian professionally, and I can align myself with that.
Simply gone through a very difficult economic time and are simply asking of the tax department an opportunity to have a payment plan. And it seems that this is really done kind of like if they feel like how you talk to them, it's extreme.
St. Martin, we probably go far, and we know, search for a sign of a change. A Chino, you know it got days when you feel like a zero. I woke up this morning, but feel like Mark Mingo. Tomorrow be a better day. Respect is the key, education gon' matter, so don't you try to run away. St. Martin, the place where the food is good, the people is good, the music is good. We living like we on a road. They're trying to take us down, but I'm thinking cause they really don't. Misunderstood. Oh Lord, help us protect ourselves, help us look in ourselves. We're searching for what they call the fire that's in ourselves. I just want to see the best from my motherland. I just want the whole world here to understand that we came from the bottom of the sewer, now we heading way up, high up unto Wonderland. Opportunity is yours, so make it happen. Take an action, change.
Some of them even say it's the guns on one coco, so they won't let me play, and they blaming polio. Who they think they could fool? All we know they better do fast. Polio or no polio, man we won, we must. Mama when they hear, they go get the carnival. Oh, all masqueraders on heat. Well they didn't care if it was official. but they start turning peace on the street. And they start to jump around, and they start to tumble down, and they fall down on the ground. Yes, they see how they came. But what was so comical in the midst of bacchanal? Rain comes and wash out massive May. Do they think they could fool? All we know they better do fast. Polio or no polio, man we won we must. Mama when they hear they go get the carnival. Oh, oh, all masquerade.
Qu'est-ce que tu fais là? Qu'est-ce que tu fais là? But sorry, no sir. They got this game tonight and I can't miss it. Me and my boy, we gotta watch the game, you know. So I bringing this in. You check? Alright, let me watch your leg. Watch your leg.
Sir, sorry. Why so difficult? Look, I'm watching TV here on my phone with the Tel TV Plus app. You really gotta upgrade.
Okay, so miss, tell me about the Tel TV Plus. I hear about this.
Okay, so once you apply for Tel TV Plus, you can enjoy it anytime on the go.
Anytime?
Anytime.
On the go?
On the go. You simply download the app, log into your account at any time, sit back and enjoy. You will never have to miss your match.
Yo, bus driver, take me back to tell him now, please.
Don't ask me what to ask, please. I was so, you know, you were part of the worst leader of St. Martin history. Party? No, right? You was part of that. Just say it. Let's begin.
You said it, not me.
Oh, wake up everyone who's sleeping. Meet me at the post. Number one on any, no contemplating. She has the vision. Let's vote, let's vote. Silveria is we leader. Meet me at the post.
Check it. Represent St. Martin to the core. Vote R12 number 4. He's a young leader who's proven to be ready. In it for the betterment, not for the confetti. And he's capable, never falling under pressure. Working with the people, know we all standing together. Entrepreneurship, accountability, financial.
Number one, UP number one, UP number one, UP number one. I'm gonna put my vote on Rolando, cause he want the justice workers to get paid a little more. I'm gonna put my vote on Rolando, rising levels in the parliament, meetings on the whole.
Got St. Martin on his back, policies intact, in love with Mother Bay, so he wants to get it back. Stay connected with his live stream, working hard behind scenes, agriculture, ecotourism, and all the right things. Can't nobody tell me nothing. For Orlando we voted. Can't nobody tell me nothing. For Orlando we voted.
Vote for your #1 candidate of the Up Party, Rolando Bryson. Stand up with me via WhatsApp at 559-1111 or MP Rolando Bryson on Facebook. Stand up.
Okay, time for our interview segment, and we have, I don't know why, because you see, you already make it very clear that you don't want to be called Frankie, not even nothing with Frankie, because you're Omar. But I gotta make sure that the people know what's what. So
Please don't take me for Frankie.
Yes.
For your information, Frankie don't sound like me.
Hey, why you make that song?
Believe it or not, it was his idea. It was his idea. A lot of people like controversy, so of course they would say, "But hey, look what he do, his uncle or whatever." But it was his idea because they often say, "But you sound like Frankie, but you sound the same." So he was like, we should take that sugar aloes and play with it,
And that was it.
That was it.
Omar Ugly, officially now a candidate. I know before you was a candidate, you was on the late night show, and I think I saw through the future.
Yeah.
I think I like the Simpsons. Now I predicting things. And now you are a candidate. You're a candidate on the United People's Party. You are number 3.
You know you got to do it right.
I don't know.
You're number 3. You're number 3. You're number 3. You gotta say it 3 times.
You gotta say it 3 times. Okay. Number 3, number 3, number 3. Like that?
I like that.
Okay. Now, Omar, you're a newcomer.
Yeah.
This is the first time you're running ever for public office.
Yeah.
How you get number 3?
How? Hard work. It's like...
What work, though?
Let me tell you. Remember when we were sitting right here?
Yeah.
And I said, I'm going to postulate myself. He was like, no. Yeah. Because you saw it, right? You saw from the videos. You saw that I was already out there. You know what I mean? So I think that in the up party wanted a fresh look. We led by Mr. Rolando Bryson. And then you have, Dr. Mercelina. He's not considered a millennial, but this is only second time running.
Yeah.
And then you put me number 3, it gives you that fresh look.
That was your selling point to the party?
That was it. Like, look, you want this fresh look? Here you go.
Number 3. Number 3. Number 3.
Number 3. It can't go no more fresh than that, And then we shot number 4. So it's like a new, what I mean?
Fresh start.
Yeah.
Now, the campaign trail has been quite interesting because it's during this particular season. We're not used to it. But hey, it's here. We made what we made of it. How's it going so far? Talking to the people, getting different type of perspectives. I mean, 111 candidates is a lot still. But what do you think you have to do to stand out?
Well, I think my approach was different. I know that it was so much candidates, and I know that a lot of people would be taking this journey. So I picture myself as a Samaritan driving. And then when I look at the poster, I say, what he doing there? But what he know? And I know that was going to happen with me. So what I did is I started to educate the people from way before while it was just me. Not 110 other people talking at the same time. And I captured their attention and let them see me for me, let them know my education level, let them know that I have been reading, researching, and my plans. So what happened now, in the beginning, it was me more approaching people. To now, it's people asking to meet me. I have an issue for you to talk about. I have an issue for you to look into. Sometimes I have to remind everybody, and I want everybody to know this. And I know we are frustrated, but I am not in government. I am trying to be in government. So a lot of your complaints and so, I take it in and then I let it be known to the public. But for me to say, hey, okay, I'm going to fix it, I can't because I'm not in. So it's your job to get me in.
I feel you. Now, as far as the social assistance, particularly our social sector in St. Martin is very fragile. And why I say that is because there's we just heard that there's some type of financial situation going on to the ICANN Foundation.
Yes.
There are some the understand, getting helping the people and so on. I mean, do you think we need a whole social sector reform in a way that we can help our people a little bit more, or is it something that, hey, the handouts time is finished? Like, let me look at it. What do you think?
Okay, this is perfect because a lot of people ask me like, what is your manifesto? What is your platform? And I tell them, being that I have my degrees in civil engineering, when I first started, I was more interested in like infrastructure, how we could develop St. Martin more, the highways, the tunnels, the extra roads. But in doing research, I really fell in love with this social issue. So this is a perfect topic because what happened is, I think for the first time, right, people are finally understanding that we are living in poverty. The anti-poverty platform has been speaking about it for forever. And then I take their information, make sure it's correct, do my findings, and I do a video on it. And thousands of people was like, what? You know, so I realized that.
Shocked, yeah.
So we have a different voice. And now I see that a lot of politicians are speaking on it, and it's good. So now we realize that we have a problem. What are we going to do with it? What are we going to do about it? The time for no handouts cannot be done now because we are set back. Hurricane Irma set us back too much. In 2016, the economic stability of St. Martin was not too great either. So we just used Irma as an excuse, but it still wasn't too great.
Yeah.
So what we need to do, and I keep telling people, we can look at Holland and all these other places, but it's a give and take because Holland tax you on everything. Everything. So
even being there.
yeah, the weight of your car and those things. So it's a give and take. They can do, you know, certain things like there's a oikading in the salary where they take it out of your salary every month. But what this does is it protects you that if you're laid off, just like how the ministers and the government workers get
a little
paid,
pension,
yeah, for the first year, it can help you, you know, go on. So these are the steps that St. Martin can look into. I am not a big fan on taxing the people. I believe that the outside world should pay for us. So instead of always killing the local man, which 85% of our economic is based on small business, instead of killing Andrew, because he looked like late night doing good now, instead of killing Andrew, you know, we allow the people from that are traveling on the airport and coming in from the cruise lines and staying in the hotel we implement taxes for them, which I'm pretty sure they won't mind because when we go to America and travel to these other places,
they're going to tax us.
We pay it. So let them start to help our economy bloom. I know we want tourism be the Mecca, St. Martin be the Mecca of tourism, but the people are willing to pay because they're not only coming to St. Martin. So in order to answer your question, Andrew, how we're going to help the people with our social issues is by having the outside world cater to St. Martin. Therefore, we will receive more income and then we can give more benefits to our people.
The boys on the block. I know that's another topic that politicians usually talk about during the election season. And you going on the block sometime and seeing the different people talking to them during this campaign season. What's the feeling like? I mean, I'm sure that you know, they always have a frustration about going to the polls again. Yeah. But maybe you can give me your take as to whenever you go and you see them, they tell you what's on their mind.
The difference is like this is the first time you have a candidate that represents quote unquote the boys on the block. And I keep saying it, the boys on the block, they're not only good during election time. No, I have not been to every block. I'm that type of person that if I'm a customer being here or a customer talking to these people, then, you know, that's what we do. I often sit and I would have conversations with them and they would ask me about how to enter a bid, how to have a construction company, all those things. And I would tell them, look, it's about 10 of us right here now. And a person passing in the car would have no idea that we're talking about how to open a business. They have no idea that you are asking me about employment because of what they do. They have a stigma about everyone.
Particularly the boys on the block.
Particularly the boys on the block. Yeah. But that's the reason they're stuck on the block. Because when we come and they ask you for a job opportunity, you, instead of talking to them, getting to know them, you automatically judge them and don't give them that chance. But some of these guys, man, the brains that they have, it's unbelievable.
Yeah. Some of them, even when school finished, came back, got frustrated, and then didn't end up doing anything.
Listen,
so they have that brain, but nothing to burn it on.
Nothing to burn it on. And then all we want to do is, and I hate this, that when they talk about the legalization of marijuana, I believe we should talk about it in a business aspect.
Yeah.
Let me talk about it in the fact that St. Martin has nothing else to offer.
Yeah.
So we have a nice coffee shop in town that that and one in the Simpson Bay, you know how much tourists will probably come to, you know, but everything has to be done in the proper manner. Now, the reason I say that, Andrew, some people are using the marijuana legalization as for the boys on the block, for the boys on the block.
Yeah.
You know, and that's
a stigma, actually.
Yeah, it's like you're not even realizing that you're stigmatizing them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And who said that that's the only thing that they want to do?
Yeah.
Because
some don't even smoke.
Yeah, exactly.
Believe it or not, I know it's a surprise to you,
so,
but yes.
You know what we talking about marijuana? The boys on the block. So, no, let me tell them about work. And the boys on the block, most of them are like our people. Most of them are locals. So yeah, the marijuana thing, but I look at it as an economic boost. Something like a cafe, something that's regulated. I don't look at it like, take the boys on the block and leave them selling weed now. Nah.
Yeah, because it's legal now.
Yeah, I know what I mean? So I personally feel like we should hear them out. I personally feel like this is the time that if they're listening, they're looking, you have a candidate that, and when they tell me, yeah, these politicians only come for election time, I say, yeah, perfect, but that's your fault because it's election. That's what they're supposed to do. You need to look at it if they were there before, who used to chill with I before, who used to have conversations, who used to try to give out your work before. That's what we need to look at, Andrew, and wake up.
Now, I would be very upset, Omar, if we don't talk about sports.
Mm-hmm.
Because last time we didn't talk about it.
Yes.
But this time we should talk about it.
Correct.
Because you are a sportsman too, you know. A sportsman. You know, I noticed, you know, some talking about drag race strip, some talking about cricket field, some talking about
getting heated.
Yeah. some talk about having sports tourism.
Mm-hmm.
What sports? I know sports is very dear to your heart.
Mm-hmm.
What can we do to improve?
Okay, perfect. First of all, it starts with the schools. Like I went to school in the States, right? And if you watch like any basketball, any baseball, any football, it starts with high school.
Yeah.
They start drafting and scouting you from there.
Yeah, start molding you from there.
Yeah. So what we need to do, right? And okay, we don't have a whole bunch of high schools and stuff in St. Martin, but we can create the atmosphere where there's a Milton Peters against Academy and a St. Dominic and so forth, and create that that sports atmosphere in the school. You need to start within the schools. And then, as well as the boxing, you know, that's something that, yeah, we have a lot of school fights and so and so, but let's take some of these people, like Mike Tyson. He was on the wrong path. He used to rob people, fight, bully. And they took him, put him in boxing, and look what we have today.
Yeah.
You know, there's a guy, Shamar Bertram, this guy goes and he fights for St. Martin, and you get a pat on the back, and nothing is recognized, no money is put into the sport of boxing. You know, so it goes back to, if you see somebody have a tendency, a guy, he fighting in the street and somebody, this guy knocking out everybody in the street. Instead of turning away from him, let's take him and try to use that angle or that skill that you have. Put it in boxing, kickboxing, and these type of things. We have a world champion in St. Martin, Omar Marsham, a world champion. When this guy goes to China and thing, he's a star. Here. We pass the guy straight every day.
Who?
Yeah, so we need to develop our talent, develop it. But to me, everything starts from in the school, Andrew. That's my basic. Everything starts from in the school.
And you could take it from there.
We could take it from there. And it gives them an incentive because you could be the best basketball player, but if you don't have a certain grade point average, which means you're not making B's and up or a certain level, you can't play on the team. So it gives you that incentive to do good in school.
But as far as the development, I mean, besides, okay, the school is all fine and nice, but if you were elected tomorrow, besides looking at a school, what would you do for those who are already out of school? Because, I mean, you have to look at that group too. There's a lot of frustrated sports people out there. And of course, you know, we've done sometimes a plus or sometimes a harm to it because of the amount of different organizations they have. You have the sports South Uar, the sports St. Peter's, the sports Phillipsburg, the sports Soccer Garden. As there's everywhere, they have an organization looking for funding, so that everybody could represent St. Martin. Can we fix that? Besides the National Institute of Sports or the sports organization we have now,
the thing is
department or something.
But the thing is, Andrew, why? Because St. Martin is like we're always in districts. Everything is district.
Yeah.
So, like for instance, 721 Dream Chasers.
Yeah.
That's a good friend of mine. This guy actually does little tournaments year round, and I would see his video sometimes 2 people in the stand.
Correct.
But diligently. Every time the players come to play, 2 people, 3 people, you know, consistently. And this is somebody that, you know, he spoke to him the other day. He said, you know, because they're always away now. He said, I'm doing tournaments away. We're getting invited away. He said, because here we're not getting the proper help that we need. But now they're being invited away where the hotel is paid for, this is paid for. So what happening now is consistency allows his talent to be recognized. So now the team is always away. So what I want
But that's a shame, though.
Yeah, it is. So then that's what I'm trying to say now, that we, right, if I'm elected tomorrow, then we need to definitely look into organizations that are consistent, right? Because we can't help everyone.
Yeah.
You need to meet the criteria that are consistent. You have to show your track record as to how many locals you have been helping, how many tournaments you have been doing. And then I think that we, the government, needs to be more involved in our sports, not only basketball, I'm talking baseball, soccer, whatever it may be, because you never know who you have. We have so much LeBron James walking around here, so much Michael Jordan, so much Mike Tyson, and I think that one of my biggest things I want to develop is a YMCA type of environment. Not just put a basketball court in an area, Andrew. I want to have it where you have the basketball court, you have the netball court, you have the dance room, you have the little library, you have the playroom.
So multi-purpose.
Yeah, multi-purpose. And of course, you would have the personnel there to make sure to have it upkept. And then therefore we can have training camps there, you can rent it. And then we have, instead of being all spread out, you know what's going on. And then we can have scouting. Because St. Martin has a reach,
Oh, yeah.
We just need to use it.
Yeah. And that's why we develop a lot of sportsmen. I mean, cricket.
Yeah.
In every
major league right now in Aussie.
Yeah.
So we have the talent, but we just like you say, we're so spread out. We just need to bring it in, and then where we can focus and see what we have, who we have. You know, like remember selection games. Those was a big thing, but we need to do selection games. Again, it goes back to the school to offer scholarships to play sports.
Sound good. So in other words, you're saying only we could save we.
Only we, nobody else. Nobody else. You tried it, right? Nobody else could save we.
Omar, thank you so much for coming.
No problem.
It's a good interview.
Yeah, short and straight to the point.
All right.
So on January 9th.
He just cut me off.
Yeah, on January 9th, I'm your number 3, your number 3 candidate, Omar E.C. Otley. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you just cut me off, though, man.
Yeah. I gotta let him.
You gotta let him know.
Let him know.
333.
That's all.
All right. Omar Otley, and he is number 3 on the United People's Party. We'll be right back.
The boy a brand new J-Max. Big gold chain in a Air Max. You see it every day, it's pure facts. Just for likes, them I do it for. Just for likes, nights. Just for likes, likes. Just for likes, likes. Just for likes, likes. Yes, see it? Look how she walk